Henry Crandall, a 19th century Glens Falls lumber baron, real estate investor, and philanthropist, died on February 19, 1913. A century later, his gifts to the community, Crandall Public Library, Crandall Park, and a portion of Glens Falls City Park, are still vibrant.
I think Henry Crandall's legacy to Glens Falls is his foresight in establishing a philanthropic community where the city park, Crandall Public Library, can continue to give an enhanced quality of life to this community for as far beyond Henry's lifespan. Henry was not much of a reader, I understand, but he had the foresight to fund a library. And as we grew with our first 1930s building and then expansion in the 70s, and with our latest redesign and expansion in 2008, we are just keeping up with the times, just as Henry would have. It's such an honor to the community that as a whole we embrace what Henry has left to us, and that we continue to foster those community centers, whether it's a recreational park, whether it's a spiritual center like the church, whether it's an education and learning and entertainment center such as the library. I think it shows great intelligence of this community, that how important facilities such as those are for our quality of life. And we are very proud of how we live up here.
I think that what Henry Crandall, what he did for young people in the community was tremendous. Creating Crandall Park, for one thing. You know, kids today, little tykes that are sliding down the sledding hill, all the way up through teenagers that are playing basketball. When I see those kids in the park, you know, I often think of how could a guy back in those days have come up with an idea that it would have been so consistent over the years that young people would continue to enjoy that property. I would have liked to have been able to creep inside his mind or have dinner with him or something like that and ask him a few questions. I'm sure you know that when Henry Crandall was young, he started out by cutting wood. And he saved $1,000 by the time he was 29 years old. If you think about that, in today's dollars, we're talking about $30,000 or $40,000 that he set aside, and he used that money to invest and to get into business, and it grew and grew, and then he started philanthropic ventures. So I really admire the guy. He must have been a very interesting man. We heard rumors that, I don't know if they're true or not, we heard rumors that Henry had his horse buried next to the monument up there. I've never been able to prove that or see anything that would indicate that that was the case, but it's a nice rumor. It's nice to hear and tell stories about. You asked why the creations that Henry Crandall made have endured over the years. And I think the reason is because the creations he made were things that people enjoyed. You know, who doesn't enjoy going to the park for a picnic or bringing their kids up and having them go fishing in the pond? And I think that's part of the vision that made Henry Crandall so great. We can't find anything written by him, or at least I can't, but I think the contributions he made speaks volumes about the man.
Library and park supporters say that Henry Crandall will never be forgotten in Glens Falls, and his community spirit will live on through the generosity of residents who contribute to community resources both financially or as volunteers. Reporting for the Post-Star and PostStar.com, this is Maury Thompson.